Hi, and welcome to VSU Today, your source for news and information at Virginia State University. I'm your host, Daphne Maxwell Reed. Our first story takes a look at the risk factors for heart disease, which led to a 19-year-old Richmond native suffering a stroke.
We focus on valuable niche crops.
As part of an ongoing effort to promote health and wellness in the local community, Virginia State University is now in partnership with the American Heart Association, as well as other key partners who are spreading the word about risk factors for heart attacks and strokes.
This is an organic garden, you guys.
The effort was visible on field day at VSU's Randolph Farms, where local children learned how healthy food travels from farm to table. Wanda Johnson of the School of Agriculture's Cooperative Extension was happy to teach them.
Farm to table means that if you're growing vegetables or you're buying them locally, which means that they're going to be fresher when they're in season, they contain more of the nutrients that we need versus buying vegetables that have traveled thousands of miles before they've arrived to the grocery store.
Eat healthier and exercise more.
By partnering with Bon Secours and the American Heart Association, the university offers its expertise on food and nutrition to two respected organizations working to fight the nation's #1 killer. Russ Warnick, founder of Health Diagnostic Laboratories, says prevention is essential to that fight.
Heart disease is really almost completely preventable today. No one needs to suffer from heart disease. If we do what we know now, we can prevent heart disease.
If left unchecked, heart disease can lead to a variety of serious problems. Some can seriously compromise your quality of life. Some, such as heart attack and stroke, can actually end it. And these serious outcomes are not always preceded by obvious symptoms, as Ashley Slate discovered at the young age of 19.
I started feeling a little funny. Things started to look really different in the kitchen. The room just started caving in, and I guess I just decided to get up. It looked really fuzzy. My vision went out, and I got out, Dad, and then I was on the floor. I literally just fell on the floor and was laying, I don't know, I think I was just laying like this. And then I couldn't really talk. And I can just totally remember just looking this way and looking at the floor.
Once on the floor, Ashley says she couldn't see out of her left eye or move the left side of her body.
And I still did not connect that to a stroke.
Her father called 911, but says he never imagined it was a stroke, given his daughter's young age and good physical condition.
It took a lot of control to keep myself controlled and to try to calm her down, because I couldn't tell her what was wrong or give her any comfort other than just to hold her. That's about all I did. It's about all I could do.
Scans at the hospital revealed a blood clot that had lodged in the right side of Ashley's brain. With quick treatment, she recovered function on her left side and is now a healthy 28-year-old. But she says she remains on guard, watching for signs of another stroke to occur.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think could have happened again. Even though I'm, working out and making sure my weight's good, I'm eating right, I don't know. I'm doing everything I can to prevent it.
Recognizing a stroke when it occurs is the key to getting the timely treatment that saved Ashley's life.
So pleased that we're getting ready to bring this patient in.
Patricia Lane, a graduate of Virginia State University, works at Bon Secours St. Francis Medical Center as a neuroscience coordinator. She says that the signs can be summed up with the acronym FAST.
We look for facial droop. We look for A is for your arm, maybe drifting. S, you usually have speech that may be slurred or it's different. T means time. Time lasts known well, because now there is a way that you can be able to treat stroke if you come within the first 3 hours of knowing those signs and symptoms.
Even better, recognizing the signs of heart disease may help prevent a stroke from happening in the first place. Dr. Danny Shaban of Dominion Women's Health says that the warning signs may be subtle.
When you're looking at someone like Ashley's case that's a teenager, 19 years old, you look at some of their symptoms of if they're getting short of breath with exercise, fatigue, occasional loss of memory, can't remember where they were at one point, or forgetfulness. That's one of the most common things that you'll hear someone tell you, oh, I just tend to forget things. And those might be some of the warning signs.
Because those signs can easily be missed or explained away, the best way to understand your risk of heart disease is to understand some basic measurements, including your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and your body mass index.
My biggest message to young people is get your yearly history and physical exam in front of a provider. Let them go over your history, making sure that you're starting off in a good pathway for the rest of your life.
I want to make sure you are aware of the vast amount of resources that we do have available.
J. David Young's role with the American Heart Association includes educating communities about the risk and prevention of heart attack and stroke. He says this partnership with Virginia State University helps to educate not only young people like Ashley, but also the wider population within the university's reach.
We're trying to make sure that the individuals and families in the high-risk populations or segments of our population understand that they have the power in their own hands. They have control and the ability to make changes in their lives, changes in their behavior that will help them live longer, healthier lives.
Mary Doswell, an executive at Dominion Power, is the chair of the American Heart Association's 2013 Go Red for Women campaign. She says that Ashley's story affected her deeply, not just as an advocate for heart health, but as a woman and a mother.
I think that's absolutely amazing that someone that young would suffer a stroke. I have 5 daughters, so it hits very close to home. And I think it really should catch the eye of all women to know that they need to spend some time thinking about this, understanding it, and realize that they can do something about this.
Ashley says that the fear she felt on the day of her stroke is still fresh, and that she urges others her age to take their health seriously.
I was scared I could never move again. I wouldn't be able to feel, I wouldn't be able to function, wouldn't be able to use my left hand or my leg. Don't be naive. Don't think that it can't happen to you.
For VSU Today, I am Gwen Dandridge.
If we contemplate our past to understand ourselves, there we will find how far we have come, how far we need to go, in what we have become, in what we will eventually be. If we search even deeper, consider all the elements that make up our human potential, there we will find an awe-inspiring discovery. Knowledge is to be sought, gained, embraced through education, and this education transforms everything. Ignorance becomes awareness. Awareness awakens possibilities. Through education, life unfolds, expands, takes shape. And through this self-revelation, we gradually appreciate a saying passed down from generation to generation, an adage whose meaning becomes apparent. And the saying is this: that when we combine a willingness to learn with the pursuit of knowledge, magic happens. I'm Angela Bassett, here to ask you to support Virginia State University
building a better world since 1882.
Welcome back. Virginia State University is situated in Chesterfield County, above the beautiful Appomattox River. But just below the hill sits historic Petersburg, with grand and monumental homes. This century-old city is vastly becoming known as Virginia's best-kept secret.
Just down the hill from Virginia State University lies one of the true treasures of this historic commonwealth. Petersburg is a centuries-old city that has survived so much, but its majestic homes stand proud to tell its history. The city dates back to 1645, when it was established as a trading post on the Appomattox River. In the years since, it survived a major fire, a historic siege during the Civil War, even a direct hit by tornado. Miraculously, much of its original architecture still stands.
There are buildings here of almost every type of architectural description you can think of. Everything from workers' cottages on up to some very, very grand mansions that were built by the tobacco barons and the cotton people and the people who owned the railroads.
Lucious Edwards is an archivist and historian with Virginia State University and says that the homes are more than just interesting architecture. They tell the city's story.
We have a unique architectural record of the development of Petersburg, the Atlantic world, and a city that was one of the premier tobacco cities in the United States during antebellum.
Visitors to the city are especially intrigued by its grand historic homes. Helen James, a realtor with Long & Foster, explains.
These homes are special because they're so large and offer so much. I mean, they're 5,000 to 7,000 square feet. A lot of them, they're mansions.
This is the Sycamore Suite. It's a 2-room suite.
Tina Burtonshaw owns the High Street Inn,
Katharine Hepburn,
which counts Katharine Hepburn among its most famous past guests.
Fame for this room is that Katharine Hepburn stayed here in 1986. Apparently she and her driver and the lady she was traveling with had a fender bender close by, and they had to stay here overnight.
With 8,000 square feet, including a gentleman's parlor, ladies' parlor, and several elegant bedrooms,
The house is over 120 years old.
The home hosts overnight guests as well as holiday gatherings and tea parties. Built in 1891, it was originally the home of a couple with 6 children.
This is the day room or the dressing room. Often when groups come to stay at the house, if families take over the entire house, they'll all bring their chairs and they'll meet in here and socialize.
Burtonshaw says that lends a family feel that you wouldn't expect to find in a home this large.
So it has a warmth to it that most large homes sometimes don't carry. I think the decor is inviting. It's something that kind of takes you back in time a little bit.
And when we moved in, this room was really in shambles.
Just around the corner is the Thomas Wallace House, built in 1855. Ignatius Cregan and Rod Gibbons bought the house in 2003.
When we moved in, we completely redid this room.
When it had been vacant for 25 years and falling into disrepair. They have overseen an extensive restoration of its rooms.
We call the library.
And are proud to tell guests about the home's unique role in history.
All right, come on up the front steps and we'll show you where Lincoln and Grant met.
In 1865, President Abraham Lincoln and General Ulysses Grant met on the porch, overlooking a crowd of soldiers and residents.
So I think of this as one of the places where the war ended. Lincoln and Grant had only met 3 times in their lives, and this is probably the longest meeting they ever had.
Let's walk this way and I'll show you what we call the marble room because the floor is made of marble.
Dan Lipford owns the Nora Maury Fontaine Davidson House, which once served as a school for girls. The school is now recognized as the birthplace of Memorial Day, which started when Miss Davidson and her girls began decorating the graves of fallen soldiers. Lifford says that this grand home is made more special by its Petersburg location.
You have everything here or within a short distance that you would have in any major metropolitan area. Yet at the same time, you don't have near the traffic, you don't have near the congestion and things like that you would have in a city twice or 3 times, 4 times this size.
This house has so much charm.
Handy Lindsay's home on Adams Street was built in 1842 and has its own quiet history.
When the house that I live in was being restored, the workmen discovered a cannonball embedded in the fireplace.
During the Civil War, when roads were often blocked, even the cemetery was beyond citizens' reach. As a result, Captain John Pollard lies buried in the backyard of his former family home.
And it leads right into the dining room, but
Lindsay says the home's 12-foot ceilings, pocket doors, and natural lighting made it attractive, but the price made it irresistible.
My house, if it were in Richmond, would cost at least twice as much. If it were in Washington, D.C., it would cost 3 to 4 times as much. So it's really a bargain to have a house of such beauty, such grace, and character for a very affordable price. So that's why we chose Petersburg.
Above the doorways and the windows are hand-carved leaves.
The McElwain house was built on Wythe Street near the turn of the 19th century. When a road project threatened its original site in 1972, the house was moved to the heart of Old Town Petersburg.
If you look at this door, for instance.
Alexander Graham purchased the home in 2009 and is especially proud of its interior woodwork.
This is a sunburst,
which has caught the attention of historical architects at the Smithsonian Institution.
My carpenters carved these by hand.
He says that buying the home was not just a point of personal pride, but a sound business decision.
The housing stock in Petersburg is a great investment for the future. The price of the housing for the square footage and the quality of the properties is superb. And I believe personally that my investment dollars will be well rewarded in the future.
With so much available for so little money, Petersburg has been called Virginia's best-kept secret. But that secret is getting out, and renewed interest in the city is sparking a renaissance.
Come to the city, walk around, ask questions. There are people in the city of Petersburg who can answer those questions. You could really have a great time in Petersburg doing historical things, great restaurants and everything else. It's really a nice place to be.
For many of us, education is the key to success. It has brought us light, transport, new discoveries. And through education, we find a freedom. From education, we also understand that hard work pays off. This hard work transforms us, makes us want more, to do more, to see more, and even know more. Education makes us want to drink from the fountain of knowledge, to expand our awareness, so that we can move dark clouds to light. Turn our pain into comfort, our gloom into sparkle, our fruitlessness into abundance. And through education, we get to know our history, our culture. We get to find answers. Education bolsters our confidence and takes us soaring to new frontiers. Education moves us and gives us the tools so that we can tackle the world. Hi, I'm Malcolm Jamal Warner, asking you to secure your future at Virginia State University, building a better world since 1882.
Thanks for coming back. Building a Better World since 1882 is part of Virginia State University's new initiative under the leadership of President Keith T. Miller. Now, that campaign firmly took hold this past summer when the university hosted VSU Cares, a community initiative that addressed the unmet acute dental needs of the local community.
We got our stuff taken care of.
Where's your chair?
And a lot of people want to record.
I understand the patient has had the test, is that correct?
I'm gonna go over in there and get your prescriptions and stuff and bring them back to you.
Service to the community is at the core of Virginia State University's mission. So when a program was established to bring health care to people in need, the name they chose fit perfectly, VSU Cares.
The X-ray people in the back, they want everyone with red and orange bands to go first.
It began when university leaders researched the localities around VSU to determine what needs were not being met. Dr. Jewel Hairston, Dean of the School of Agriculture, says one area stood out clearly.
Hey. We found that 1 in 4 lacked dental insurance. That's 25% people don't have dental insurance. So we immediately saw a need. That's where I live. You're right around the corner, man.
You've never had a filling or anything.
So we saw that as an opportunity to bring many partners together in order to be able to offer that service right here around the university.
So the School of Pharmacy gives out those sheets when they go over the counseling with them?
Well, that led to a partnership with the Virginia Dental Association's Missions of Mercy, which organizes dental professionals for charitable projects around the state. Dr. Terry Dickinson, executive director of the association, explains.
One, it demonstrates the service attitude of the profession, and that's not just the dentist, that's the hygienist, the dental assistants, the staff, the families that come. It's everybody that comes together in that same spirit of giving something back to the community.
With more than 50 dentists, hygienists, and other volunteers ready to help one Saturday, Daniel Gymnasium was transformed into a spotless, efficient dental facility. Dr. Karen Faison, a representative for the Department of Nursing at Virginia State University, says that level of care was top-notch.
They receive the same level of care that you or I would receive when we go to the dentist's office in the community.
Dr. Samuel Galstan, the lead dentist from Chester, Virginia, was one of the volunteers at the event. He says that his staff was able to offer just about any procedure that patients might also get in his office.
So we did triage the day before. We pre-screened people so that they could be appointed, pre-screened them Friday afternoon, and then so that they could be appointed easier on Saturday morning. And then Saturday, I treated, I think, probably 8 patients. I did some extractions. I did a number of dental restorations, dental fillings on these people.
Fight on that for 2 hours. We'll give you some cotton to change it out with.
In all, more than 400 patients were seen for dental services or for routine checks of blood sugar, cholesterol, and other health indicators.
You doing okay, Lisa?
The grand total was more than $200,000 worth of care given for free.
So it demonstrates what the community in Petersburg and VSU is all about, and it's helping take care of our neighbors. I think that's what we're all here for.
Services rendered throughout the day included 425 fillings, 369 routine dental extractions, 150 surgical extractions, 83 cleanings, and 4 root canals, as well as dental exams for all of the patients who were there.
Aaron, how are you?
Chris, good. What are we doing for you today?
Aaron Torres, a recent Virginia State University graduate, was among the people receiving care that day.
I don't put them on real well.
He says the experience strengthened not only his dental health, but also his pride in his university.
Be a Trojan and be a part of VSU that's actually doing that initiative makes me proud to be a part of that overall organization to show that I and VSU care about the community and my surroundings.
Dr. Galston says the sheer number of patients and procedures made for a non-stop day.
Okay, we're going to be putting the filling in the tooth in just a second. Virginia State University did an incredible job. They had everything that they did was very well organized and very well orchestrated. They did the legwork. They had a number of key volunteers in the university who had really done their job well.
But at least they're both right here in Petersburg.
Okay. Delegate Rosalind Dance, who represents the local legislative district and is also a graduate of Virginia State University, says this program demonstrates the university's role in local economic growth.
If one is considering investing in an area, when they know that this university provides quality education, and not only that, it's a comprehensive thing, it's a part of the community, and they can get the human infrastructure they need, the workforce for today and tomorrow, that's what it's all about.
And plans are already underway for next year's event, and it will provide even more services to local citizens in need of better health care.
We are going to expand. We would like to also include vision screening and hearing screening, and we're also going to address some medical screening issues such as perhaps prostate awareness and breast cancer awareness.
That will mean recruiting more volunteers to help, but Dr. Hairston predicts that there will be plenty of help to go around.
People are hearing about it, and I think they're eager to become part of this because people want to be involved with a good thing.
They did it.
For VSU Today, I'm Gwen Dandridge.
She wait?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, here's Cassidy.
Well, that does it for this edition of VSU Today. I'm your host, Daphne Maxwell Reed. For more information on Virginia State University, go to www.vsu.edu. See you next time.
We can build a better world.
At Virginia State University, we prepare students for rewarding careers as outstanding teachers,
outstanding engineers, outstanding computer scientists,
mathematicians,
chemists, journalists, outstanding business leaders,
outstanding agriculturalists,
psychologists,
sociologists,
historians.
We are putting more professionals back into our community.
We need extraordinary judges,
extraordinary public administrators,
extraordinary military leaders.
At Virginia State University, we offer superior programs at the baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degree levels.
That's what we do.
That's what I do.
at our Virginia State University and my VSU.
We can build a better world.